Hi friends, host Eric here, talking with famous people. And today, I'd like to discuss the wonderful world of Ace. Ace is a person who is concerned about pedestals, women, the placement of the ladder upon the former, what happens to the individuals who place them up on the pedestals, and what happens to those placed upon the pedestals. Most of all, he's concerned about the justification for placement on pedestal. Well, as a pedestal placing man, that is to say, I do like to put women on pedestals, if I'm with them anyway. And as somebody who might rightly have been critiqued to have pedestalized women too much or something, I think that Ace's comment has some elements of validity, but fundamentally misses the point. I'd like to read that comment now. Oops. Personally, every dude in this group that whines about women and relationships needs to slap themselves. This goes for Eric and Nick as well. They did the same shit before they found their current partners, so they're subject to this criticism as well. Number one, stop putting women on a pedestal. You could only put one woman per pedestal. Stop treating them like beautiful works of art that deign to talk to us mortals and more like human beings that are exactly as flawed as we are. Don't believe me? Still think that INFJ is a wonderful otherworldly work of magnificence? Then let me ask you this. Would you still feel the same if she were ugly as Sen? What if she looked like Gollum? Didn't think so. They're human beings. They're flawed. They fuck up. Some of them are despicable cunts and some of them are exquisite angels. I've seen some of my friends passively accept things done to them by females they fancy that they would straight up fight their friends for, despite having so much more investment in the former. They're humans. Treat them as such. Well, the first element of that I think is worth agreeing with is that women are humans, and we should treat them as such, of course. But the problem I have with this comment in general is it's mistaking one kind of problem for the wrong kind of problem. The problem isn't exactly putting women on pedestals. It's putting yourself in the category of not reproductively viable. Kimberly, why are you doing that? Why are you messing up my shit? Is it you want me to take you down off that pedestal? Because that's what's going to happen. Oh, I got a chair for you right there, baby. That's fine, thank you. So, it is absolutely true that the following thing is part of chick nature or whatever. If I meet some chick for the first time in a social setting and I'm like, yeah, you might be interesting to me, but I'm busy right now. I'll talk to you. I'll have to get back to you later about that. They're gonna go like, oh my god, I want him so bad. Is that true? Yeah. Is it fucked up? Yeah, kind of. I was hanging out with a friend, ESTP Sarah, yesterday, and was explaining to her that I don't really like ESP males very much, but I get along well with her because I don't find her threatening to me. And the reason I might find ESTP males threatening is because, and I began this, while I'm sitting across the bar thinking, should I try to go get on that chick? And she sort of completed it for me and said, well, the ESP dude has already gone over there. He has her going into the bathroom where he's going to bend her over and fuck her. And that's the sort of thing that is a reality of life, that women respond well to assertive, confident men who know what they want, and it happens to be that woman right now, then she's going to feel like this guy's a viable candidate for reproductive purposes. He's strong, he's confident, has the power and ability to protect and provide. Now, those things actually don't correlate well at all. The fact that you're assertive and slay the puss is not a good correlate for providing and protecting at all. And so as women get older, they become less susceptible to some of the tricks that men use, the men who don't ever put women on pedestals, and start to understand, as men do, what actually matters in a relationship. And the reality is not any of us have an excess of self-worth and self-esteem and certainty about our own value and reproductive viability unless you're hit the genetic lottery or something and you're the biologically impossible genetic perfection dream thing, then you're going to have some insecurities about your body or your value or your worth to people or None of us, almost none of us, exit adolescence, enter adulthood, and fall right into the perfect relationship, mutually affirming, and grow healthily there forward until we actualize at age 23, and then, live the dream for another 70 years. It just doesn't work like that. We tend to make a lot of mistakes before we figure it out. One mistake we could make is putting ourselves too far below the woman so that we think, oh, she'd never want to get on me. And one mistake we make is being too risk avoidant. I'm afraid that she might reject me, so I don't want to go even try. But one mistake we don't do is affording women too much respect or too much legitimacy. In fact, if anything, as a culture, as individuals in dating, men and women tend not to afford themselves each other adequate legitimacy. I know that the best relationship for me, and I believe the best relationship for just about anybody, is one in which both partners avidly, passionately affirm the value of the other person. To the extent that I put Kimberly up on a pedestal, it's because that's what one does with things that are constantly astonishing you with their beauty and perfection. I am allowing myself to experience my own personal valuing of her without any restraint and without any concern about managing stuff like fairness or control or tit for tat stuff, It doesn't. Or for attention. It just doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't matter. For example, if I've served Kimberly on a few occasions in a given morning. Like, let's say she's asking me to do random shit. Sometimes she'll interrupt what I'm doing to ask me to do something for her. Sometimes that'll annoy me a little bit. But at the end of the day, before the end of the day even, it's just, I think, okay, well, I could be annoyed by this, or I could experience my feelings as they naturally are, which is a great sense of satisfaction in seeing her happy. And a great sense of satisfaction of being able to gaze upon her lovingly as I see fit. Having her in my world where I have access to her. And, having her in my world where I have access to her means that she's going to understand herself as being viewed by me from certain perspectives. I could be harsh. I could tell her, why do you always say stupid shit like that? Or whatever, as a general rule. I could be indifferent or detached as a general rule. Okay, Kimberly, Or I could do what I think everybody ideally deserves and should seek in a relationship, which is I actively adore her much of the time. Not always, Sometimes she's inside cutting hair and I'm out here whatever. But to the extent that I see her before me, I usually feel this rush of, And to the extent that that means I spend a lot of time dusting her while she's up on the pedestal, good. I don't think she's spent even a tiny fraction of the amount of time up on a pedestal that she should have spent, given her value. The risk, then, to reiterate, and I'm going to draw this to a close, is for males to undervalue themselves as reproductive options. The risk sometimes with people like me is to misunderstand the nature of chicks and think that they want you to be a gentleman. They don't want that. They want you to be a gentleman. In other words, they want you to be gentlemanly about how you transition into not being a gentleman. But they definitely don't want you to be a gentleman.
That person on the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Which is what?
Howard Stern.
What did he say?
They want you to be working and be nice. Isn't that what?
Right. Women don't want to see. They don't want to be at a business meeting with you and have you whip out your penis. They don't want to look at your penis. They want to see that you have a job. They want to see that you're nice to them. They don't want to randomly see your penis. So, the thing is, it's a perfect example of how douchebag is not putting her on a pedestal at all. So that whole pantomime of predation that exists in heterosexual sex, where it's really a play acting out of a predatory animal killing a food animal. But that's exactly what it is it's enabled joy at something that normally would be a form of violence, except sex is a special circumstance where it's not a form of violence and you both are liking that whole dynamic. If you're actually getting off on a chick being unhappy, or actually getting off on taking her dignity, if you feel as though you've successfully kept some of her dignity when you're done with the sex, you're doing it wrong.
And you're ultimately reaping zero benefits in the end.
Right, you're just... I mean, unless you... what do you think Harvey Weinstein got out of that? He obviously felt juice for chewing on their dignity like that. He wanted to steal people's dignity. That's what he was getting off on, really, was... You can't... You
exist without me.
Right, you have to do what I say, and even though you think it's gross, I like that. That is called...
sick.
Yeah, I mean, that's not putting women on a pedestal, for sure. That's putting yourself on a pedestal. And if you want to talk about a real problem, that's a real problem. If you're putting yourself on a pedestal too much and thinking you're entitled to feast upon the dignity of others, well, Harvey Weinstein, sit down here in this chair, I'm going to shackle your legs, got a blowtorch, and they're going straight to your genitals. Ace, you're with the wrong chick. Get an ISFJ, you'll be fine. Nick, Ace is full of shit. Neurotic NTPs, Ace is right about the own it a bit. You gotta own it a bit. Chicks want to feel like you're owning it. Otherwise, you're just too mousy to really interest them. But we all have it within us. I used to be super mousy. Eventually, I got over it. I got over the fear of rejection. I was okay with being rejected. I was going to ask chicks out and make it clear to them, I'm asking you on a date. You're not going to be my friend or anything. It's okay if you reject me. And I got over my fear of thinking I might be able to get on. That didn't mean all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to try to get on every chick now. The only one I tried to get on, I went on a date with, was Kimberly. I didn't try to get on the other chicks that I went on a date with because those dates didn't play out like that. Kimberly and my date played out like there was chemistry, There was something pretty much right away that said, before I even really thought about it, like, I was just connecting with her. We were naturally connecting. So, she deserves every pedestal I can muster for her. She's my perfect precious angel. It's true some women are not perfect precious angels. But the point thing is, put yourself on even ground with random people. And when a woman loves you well, fucking adore her. It's the only thing it's the only thing in both of your best interests. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Ace, you need pedestal lessons. How many pedestals do you have at your house? Because you need to start getting some chicks, putting them up there, taking them down. You could probably cause some ankle injuries in the process, but seriously.